So today I wanted to share with you about using a medium that you have never used before, or a medium that you're not overly familiar with, though you have had it on hand. And for me, that would be watercolor. I bought this watercolor by Jane Davenport a few years ago just because I wanted to give it a try. And I will admit I am not an expert when it comes to painting with watercolor. But that's not what this video is about. This video is not a how-to video on how to use watercolor. And you don't necessarily have to do what I'm doing with regards to using watercolor. You can use any sort of medium that you want to use or, give your hand at. Or if you're one of those that have never really seen yourself as being creative and you do have a desire though to, play around in an art journal, then this video is for you too, because this video is for just showing you that it's okay to use tools that you've never used before, using mediums like watercolor that you've never used before. And again, this isn't about doing something perfect. This isn't about creating something beautiful to hang on your wall. It's just in your art journal, and an art journal is just supposed to be a place to play. So that's what I'm doing here. And the paper I'm using in my art journal is not watercolor paper. So it is a paper that has been collaged on. It's got some gesso and it's got some acrylic white paint as a base. And I just thought I would bring out my watercolor paints that I haven't used in a long time and just giving it a go. And using a very loose hand by holding the end of the watercolor brush. As you can see right now, I'm using the white acrylic paint to help with some of the blending, and that of course I'm using a more firmer hand when holding the brush. But when I do hold the watercolor brush, it's near the end, just to keep my hand loose and my brush strokes loose. And it's all about just playing around and seeing, trying things out, trying something new. And that's the beauty of playing around in your journal. You can just try something new and play around with it. And if it turns out to be a big mess, not a big deal. You can start all over again and try something else, or you can try it again. So now I'm bringing in another color here on this other face, on the other side of the face, sorry. Keeping it loose. Seeing what happens. The idea is not to be committed to an expectation of what you want this to look like. Just let it unfold naturally in front of you and allow it to take you where it wants to go. Whether it's your, doing a face on the paper, or a flower, or anything that you're using your medium on. And in this case, I happen to have a face. And if you want to do a face but you've never done one before, give it a try. Give it a try. It doesn't matter, like I said, if it doesn't look good. It's just playing around, and at least at the end of it, you can look at it and go, I gave it a try, and you could try again.